Today on the grid, our guest is fast-rising portrait photography star, Sam Haddix. Our topic is finding your photography sweet spot. We're talking about, oh crud, we're not talking about that. Forget that. This is supposed to sound like it was recorded, but it's not. I'm going to start again. Today on the grid, it's me, Erik, and Sam, and it all starts in 60 seconds.
The grid is brought to you by Tamron. Check out their 28 to 75 millimeter f2.8 lens. It's for Sony full-frame mirrorless. It's awesome. Go to tamron-usa.com. And Westcott. Check out their new Rapid Box switch. It has 9 light modifiers and 13 quick swap light inserts. Check it out right now at fjwestcott.com.
And Profoto, the light shaping company. Check out the Profoto B1X. Power in all the right places. Go to profoto.com/US. And Spider Holster, makers of amazing camera holsters and accessories like the brand new Spider Holster tripod carrier. Check them out at spiderholster.com.
And Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
Hey everybody, Scott Kelby here, and if you're thinking I'm the guy that messed up that intro, boy are you off. That was Erik. Hi Erik.
It's all my fault. Yep, I totally screwed up. That was my voice.
Man, that was really poorly done, Erik. I'm embarrassed and humiliated for you.
Sorry about that.
Well, guys, I've got another photography show to do.
Hey, you can't do that. You're our guest. You're our only guest. All right, we're very happy to have with us a rising star in the portrait photography community and just a really cool guy. And I might add, as an aside, a smoking guitar player. So you know I have that extra level of respect. Sam Haddix.
Hey, Scott. Thanks
Hi,
for
Sam.
having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being here.
So excited. Hey, that's my website.
Hey, that is your website. How did we get that up there? What does that do in
The
here?
magic of technology.
But anyway, Sam is an awesome photographer, and he did a blog post on my guest blog for my blog, and I'm like, he's really good.
Oh, jeez. That means a lot, really, coming from you. That means
no, it was
a ton.
a great post, too. I mean, the pictures are great, obviously, but your message was really great, too. That looks like Kaylee.
It looks like Kaylee, but you'd be shocked at who it actually is.
I know. That's Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Anyway, and as you know, she's now dating Erik Kuna, which is weird, but
Yeah.
you know, no one saw that
Very
coming.
odd.
Things come full circle.
No one saw that coming. Anyway, we have a great show for you today. Our topic today is finding your photography sweet spot. And so I'm going to let Sam talk to that because he's an expert at that. I've had a couple, or by the way, that was the Spider. Our new sponsor just showed up on screen again. So,
Yeah.
and I have no problems with that. We love our sponsors. So
We're going to subliminally flash ads from now on.
From subliminal, every once in a while you'll
Yeah.
just see a sponsor ad appear for a split second on screen, and it's not
There it is again.
like that, just like that. So.
Speaking of Spider, I love that grip that they have for your camera.
That was in my.
grip, yeah.
We got a thing we're going to talk
Yeah,
about next
love
week
that.
from them. That is,
They got a new thing.
I
That's
don't want
really
to cuss.
cool.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so our topic. So we're jumping into our topic today. It's finding your photography sweet spot. What does that mean? Well, I mean, I kind of put a better spin on it because you were like finding what's right for you.
Yeah.
But expand on that for us, if you would.
Okay, so I've got a lot of things to say about this, and I feel like I don't think any photographer really feels like oh yeah, like I'm amazing and I've nailed it and I'm the best. Like I feel like, well, I mean it's for Erik, but that's true in that case. But I feel like after 10 years or so of doing photography full time, I am just starting to get it. I'm just starting to be like, this is who I am as a photographer. It took a long time, and it took a lot of shooting stuff that I didn't like to shoot, just experimenting, and I feel like finally I'm like, you know what? I'm comfortable shooting what I shoot. I like shooting what I'm shooting, and I feel like I can go into any situation and make a picture that I'm gonna like, and which is a really, really great place to be, and it's not a place that I came to easily.
No, you know what you just said is a thing that very few photographers can say. I know who I am as a photographer.
Yeah, and it took forever, and honestly, so there's all these different moments that you can kind of think of, those aha moments throughout your photography career, and one of them, not to you know, not to put you over, Scott, but the last time that we were hanging out, we were talking about this exact problem, and I think I was still having that problem at that time. It was maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, or something like that. And I said, like, man, I guess I'm still trying to find my style. And you said, take a look at this photographer's Instagram. And I'm so sorry, I forget the name of the woman. And she has this beautiful pastel, like, architectural photography.
That is Maria Marie.
Yeah. So you showed me her Instagram feed, and I was just like, oh, all of her photos look like they belong together. And then I started thinking of some of my other favorite photographers, and also my fiance Kaylee has, you know, dog breath photography. And you go to her Instagram feed and you look at her photos, you're like, oh, all of these belong together. And then I looked at my Instagram feed and I'm just like, I'm all over the place. What can I do? And I think the thing that was getting in my way was I was feeling like every time I went to make a photo, I needed to bring every single piece of photography gear that I owned with me, and I needed to somehow use it all.
That's return on investment.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. So I remember very specifically, it was during this period I was trying to figure out who I was, and I wanted to take a photo of my Nana for a little present for my family. Here's a photo of Nana. And I remember bringing 3 strobes, 3 octas, 3 grids, 3 stands, sandbags for all of that, 2 camera bodies.
Dude, when you're like Nana, you got to bring the house, man.
I brought everything.
Everything you own.
And I made a photo that's good. I would look at that photo and I'd say, that's my Nana, and this photo is good.
And that's her.
Yeah, it's not gonna tear down any walls or anything. But also just the act of making that one photo was so much work that if it wasn't for my Nana, like, and me wanting to take a picture of her, I wouldn't have taken the photo, because I would have just been like, too much work, don't want to do it. Because photography is a job and it's just work at this point. So I kind of figured something needed to change, and I think that was the thing that needed to change. And I decided, okay, I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to only use 1 camera and 1 lens and 1 light, and I'm going to see what I can make with that, and I'm going to do it for 1 calendar year.
Ooh.
Which was like a huge, you know, it's thinking really far in advance, and it's hoping that I can make something happen, and it's taking a lot of, you know, discipline to do it. You know, there's a lot of times where I was like, this would be much better if I had a 24-70, but shooting basically with a 50 and a Fuji GFX and either a Profoto light, or I have a nice light that I really like. But I just shot with those items for 1 year, and during that time, I stopped thinking about gear, and I started thinking about, let's just make a picture. Like, let's just make a photo. And I started just getting more, I don't want to say creative, because it's just, let's see what I can do with this. But I started just making pictures that I liked, and then they all started to look like they belonged together. And that was, I think, the thing that finally made me say, like, maybe this is actually who I am as a photographer, because now all these photos look like they were taken by the same photographer. And we're scrolling through my website right now, and every one that I've seen so far is taken with exactly that setup. And hopefully they look different enough to not be super repetitive. This is the same setup, and this next one, that's the same setup, you know? I'm trying to just get the most out of it. And I think in doing so, hey, there's Ilmar.
I was going to say, is that Ilmar? That's
sure
Ilmar.
Yeah.
Because nobody has glasses that big.
Yep.
Those are her trademark. I love her glasses.
And you know, one other thing that I did, which was like it was a fun challenge to myself. And please let me know if I start to ramble too much on this. I started to try to do these portrait sessions in less than 5 minutes each, because I was really inspired. There's a photographer, his name's Marco Grobe. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but he shoots for like Time magazine all the time. He did Steve Jobs' final portrait, you know what I mean? And he was talking about doing that portrait, and he said, I had 2.5 minutes with Steve Jobs. Like, that's what I got. Right. And you can't go into a portrait session where you have 2.5 minutes with someone and be like, what lens am I going to use?
Williams?
That's Dave Williams.
Oh my gosh, I know people in your portfolio. That's a nice shot of Dave.
Yeah.
He was wearing a red Hakuna Matata t-shirt, and I was just like, I'm just going to use a little thing called Photoshop, and we're just going to make this
I would have left it. That's a really great shot of him.
Thank you.
Because you know why I like this shot of him? And this is not easy to do. He looks nice.
He looks. I told him, this was literally my instruction. I was like, Dave, close your eyes and open them and give me approachable. And that's what he gave me. And then I took his photo, and then we wrapped up.
I never think of Dave as approachable. I think of Dave as serial killer.
Yep.
Things like that, but approachable.
Yeah, do you know what sociopath
No,
means?
I'm kidding. I love Dave. Dave's one of my best buddies. He's a great guy.
He's great. But there was this Marco Grove guy who was doing these super quick portraits, and I wanted to be able to walk into a situation with anybody and not take up too much of their time. I always hate doing that. I'd be like, oh, one more, just one more shot, please, one more. I just wanted to make people comfortable in front of the camera, take their picture real quick, and be like, you know what, I got it, you look great, and let's go. That's I think my only natural light shot in there.
Hey guys, if you have questions, that's a nice shot. If you have questions for Sam, we're taking your comments and your questions, and I think.
So Tammy has a question.
Tammy's got a good question right
this is a good question. So do you do other things but only post the photos that fit your style?
Okay, that's a really good question because if I wasn't in the situation where I am right now with my fiancée Kaylee and our other business, Dog Breath Photography, I would still be having to support myself with some sort of other photography income, and that's probably, in my case, would be weddings.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
so you're gonna be shooting weddings on the weekend.
That's what I did, and I hated it. I don't want to say I hated it. I just didn't love it. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to put in 25 years shooting something that I didn't love.
And you gotta love. You have to really love weddings.
Yep.
Like I actually love weddings. It's just there's so much work.
Yeah.
But I really love. You have to love it, and I do love. I think a wedding is great. I don't really like to attend weddings.
Sure.
But I really enjoy shooting them.
Yep.
It's just so much work that when I think, oh my gosh, I have to do a wedding. The amount of work and stress is very high, but I love the experience. But if it's not something you don't love, you're never going to be happy.
Yep.
And if you've chosen photography as a profession because you love photography, you're torpedoing yourself to choose a genre you don't like.
Yep, 100%. And I guess like the whole like trying to shoot with this one camera, one lens, one light sort of thing and get this style down, it's kind of like a long-term investment because I need to do this for me, so I'm not going to be asking for money for it, you know, for that year that I was doing it. Like I did all of those shoots for free because it's hard to also charge someone for 5 minutes of my time. Be like, that'll be $2,000 and goodbye. So you know, I did all those for free just so I could do that for myself. And now that I have that style and that look, hopefully now that's something that people see and they go, oh, I like that. Let me hire you to do this portrait, and then the money comes in then. But at the time, no, my style was all over the place. And to answer that question, I guess more succinctly, I haven't been shooting anything else. I've only been sharing the exact type of photo that I've been shooting for this past, at this point, year and a half
what
now.
a great idea, just all the way around. A very smart idea. Because you get to, is that Rob Foldy's wife?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
I'm like, is that Amanda?
Yeah, so here's the thing with these portraits is like, it wasn't like, hey, Amanda, let's set aside a day where we can do a bunch of portraits. It was like, hey, Amanda, there's a pretty sunset outside. Will you come over here for 2 seconds and let me take your picture?
Wow.
And Rob's holding the light for me.
Yeah, so you simplified it down to the point at which you can do this in a few minutes.
Yeah.
That's great. That is so smart.
There was another photographer, and I won't name names, but I was attending.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, he's a cool guy. That's Joe Merrick. If you look him up online, he's one of the most talented musicians I've ever met.
That is a cool shot. He's got a great look.
Yeah.
He just looks like cool.
Great guy.
It's like looking in a mirror for me. It's just very cool, and I'm black and white too. So.
Now Daniel was asking a question of, do you have any behind-the-scenes shots of what you do?
Oh, well, you know what I do have? Can I talk about what I was here for yesterday? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? We were going to talk about what you were here yesterday.
So behind the scenes stuff, I just got to film my first class with KelbyOne, which is the coolest thing. It's absolutely the coolest. It's you know, it's where I went to like learn most of what I know about photography in the first place, and now I get to like contribute what I think I can help out with. Here's my like little bit of knowledge that I think I know, and hopefully it's something that people can pick up on. But yeah, it's all behind the scenes stuff, and honestly, it's I never want to come off like, oh, I'm some great photographer. I can do this very quickly and without very little effort, because I think that what I do is extremely easy. And I just want to show everybody, like, it's not a big, it doesn't have to be a big production or a big to-do. It's just like, hey, you can do this with some friends. You can do it real quick.
I know, but you know what? That's kind of cheating, because I've seen you play guitar, and you're a smoking guitar player. And if I handed you a guitar and you played something, you would go, well, that was extremely easy. I'd go, well, sure it is for you, Sam. You should watch me play piano. I make it look easy. Hey, look, all my fingers go to the right keys. Yeah, like when you're really good at something. But I am really glad that you shared that with people because number one is I think like what'll be neat about your class and different than everybody else's is it's how you do it. And I think that's a big thing. It's, when I go to watch somebody's class, like when I used to really I watched everything that Frank Doerhoff ever did before I ever met Frank Doerhoff because I liked the way Frank Doerhoff lit. I wasn't trying to learn lighting. I wanted to learn how Frank did it. Yeah. And I think that's what people are going to take from your class. They're going to look at your photos and go, I want to learn how Sam did it. Yeah. And so I think it's great that you kind of pull back and here's how you do it. Now, I will say this. And I'm not just saying this because you're here, because I would say it if you weren't here. But when I was on the set this morning, I was taping a class this morning. When I was on the set, I said, hey, how did Sam's shoot go? And everybody's like, oh, it went great. It was amazing. I mean, everybody on the crew. Now, the crew will always tell me the truth. The crew will go, we had a couple of challenges. We ran into a couple. They would tell me if there was something that was, they were 100% like it was awesome.
Oh, good. Yeah. That makes me feel so good.
So it must have gone really well because they would have been like, and they've had some where we're like, we're not going to release that class. I mean, we've had some went down the tubes. We have classes that we have recorded, had the instructor come and done the whole thing, and never released the class.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it is definitely
thrown away a few classes.
Thrown away a few classes, and the instructor got paid, but we never shared it. It has to be at a certain level, and they said that they thought that yours might be released. They weren't 100% on it. They thought, I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. Maybe we'll do it. Just let the chips fall where they may, I think is what they said.
Well, I think what's really cool about that is the full circle of it, like you were talking about, because we've learned from these people. We've learned from KelbyOne. We've learned that stuff. And then to be able to come full circle and then give back that same gift. Yeah. And really, you're drawing off of your experiences and the sum of what you've learned to put into your style. So even though it's easy for you or it's simple for you, it might be more complex for somebody else. And sharing that with them, that's the gift we can give back to people.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm going to watch your class.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to watch it for sure. Hey,
I hope they edit me smart.
Couple things really quick. So Peter Hurley, you guys know the wonderful Peter Hurley. He's a KelbyOne instructor, a Photoshop World trainer, and just a great guy, just all the way around. So Peter has a workshop next Tuesday in Sarasota, Florida. The workshop he's doing is to benefit a friend who has ALS. So it is a great cause, and Peter Hurley, come on. So go to this. I'm going to give you a website to go to. It's next Tuesday. If you get a chance to spend a day with Peter, you will never forget it. The website is alifestoryfoundation.org. That again is a lifestoryfoundation.org. And see where it says events up there? Click on events. And wow, it's like happening in real time. And it says Peter Hurley Photography. And here's the stuff about his seminar. He's got a full-day workshop. It's at the Ringling College of Art and Design in Sarasota, Florida, which is a beautiful campus. If you can get to this, you got to get to this. Peter is just a joy. He really is. He's fun. You will learn a lot. Peter teaches, headshot photography.
Yeah, and he has classes on KelbyOne.
And he has classes on KelbyOne. But spending a day with Peter is just, he's a ball. He just is one of the most fun and infectious guys. He has terrible diseases. No, he is. He is no. He is one of the most fun guys, and his passion and enthusiasm is infectious. You really, like, you leave there and you feel like I can take on the world. So if you can do it next Tuesday. Tell your friends, if you know anybody in the Sarasota area, tell them that they have a unique experience going to be there next Tuesday. And then next Wednesday, I think we have Peter on the grid here, right?
Yep, next Wednesday,
on the grid. Peter is on the grid. So
he'll be infectious.
He'll be infectious live.
Or infected.
All right. Hey, coming up next, we've got your comments. We've got some news. We're going to talk about a big new feature introduced in Lightroom, and we're going to see how big it is, because there's a lot of talk about that today. And we're going to talk to Sam some more. We're going to continue with our topic, which is finding your sweet spot in photography. Stick around. We'll be right back here on the grid.
When you need a tripod that is compact, that is portable enough to take with you anywhere, one that is adaptable to any situation, that will prove versatile enough for any shoot, and is compatible with your other gear, giving you freedom to create your own perspective. Look no further. Platypod Ultra does it all. Visit platypod.com for more info.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Yeah. Hey, we are back. Scott Kelby here with Erik and Sam. We had a great topic today. We're talking about finding your photographic sweet spot.
Yeah, we got a lot of people in the chat. We got Jordan Kelby saying, hey,
y'all. Hey, y'all. That's my boy.
Wasn't he
All
left
right,
shark?
and Riverside Ronnie saying hello. Hey, Riverside Ronnie. And then we got Joseph B saying hello. We got Becky G, David D, Cheeky Nando saying hey, and Daniel saying hey all the way from Switzerland, and then George from the UK, and Patrick from Ireland. So we got the international crowd here too.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
And I'll say a good-looking crowd.
Steve made a comment, and he's like, holy cow, I use one lens per day on occasion, but a year? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's commitment, man.
That's commitment. You're all in.
You can't argue with the results.
Yeah.
Hey, a couple quick things real quick. We have something we don't do very often. We have a Valentine's sale for KelbyOne.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So we want to spread the love, show the love. If you're thinking about...
Feel the love. Be the love.
Feel the love. If you're thinking about joining KelbyOne, we got a great deal right on KelbyOne right now. We got the Plus and the Pro membership. We got the Pro memberships, $25 off. I don't know if Jason can see my screen. And then the Plus membership's $10 off.
Do you want to hear something really nerdy?
Yes. I love nerdy stuff.
So my fiance Kaylee is obviously a photographer as well, and we will on occasion cuddle up on the couch at night and stream KelbyOne class to the TV and do some learning together.
Dude, that is so romantic.
I'm telling you,
so
right?
romantic.
It is very cute.
Yeah, I can't convince my wife to do that. No. But I do love the new KelbyOne, the Apple TV and the Roku app.
Yeah.
I use that all the time.
That app is great.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Because that's great to see it on the big screen.
You know what I do? So my daughter will be on the couch like watching something, and she's not paying attention. I'll go out of Hulu and I'll launch the KelbyOne app, and I'll go, oh, who's on TV? Oh, it's Dad. Oh, check that out. She's like, Dad. She makes the face look like you stabbed her. Hey, so interesting little tidbit here. So when we mentioned my son Jordan was in the chat, Sam goes, hey, wasn't he Left Shark at Photoshop World? Yes, astute. Yes, he was. He and Dave Clayton were they dressed in shark costumes to welcome Christina Shirk to teaching at Photoshop World. And there's a lot more to it than that. We played a prank on her at Midnight Madness.
One of the many reasons you got to just go to Photoshop World for moments like that.
Oh, yeah. Because then it would mean something to you. Be like, oh, he was Left Shark. Yeah. So...
Yeah, speaking of Photoshop World, that's another place where Peter Hurley will be. You'll be. Kaylee. Sam.
Me.
Yeah.
Sam.
I'll be floating around somewhere.
Photoshop World.
We'll be at Photoshop World. Coming up in Orlando, early summer, and in Las Vegas, late summer. Hey, so the schedule got posted?
The schedule's today.
Schedules today. For the pre-conference workshops.
For the Photoshop World Orlando is up.
Yeah.
And then all the pre-conference workshops.
Yeah, so can I tell you something? If you're going to go to Photoshop World, go get your ticket right now, because we have these pre-conference workshops that are the day before the conference. They're like really in-depth and stuff. Well, they sell out. A lot of them sell out, and then people are like, oh my gosh, I wanted to go to that one workshop. I can't believe it's sold out. It's sold out because you waited too late. So they just went up today.
And we got some new ones. We got Tracy doing a family photography.
Sweeney.
We got Melanie's doing her macro and floral stuff. Which is really
Melanie
cool.
Kern-Favilla is there. She's doing macro and floral. She is amazing. She is a fan favorite of KelbyOne members.
Yeah, and then we got Tim Wallace is doing a business class, which is really cool.
Tim's business stuff is so that class right there will pay for your Photoshop world.
Yep. Yeah, I'll go to that.
He will teach you stuff about the business of and Tim, you talk about a guy who reinvented himself and is just hey, that looks really good the way we did that website. I like that.
I'm telling you, that's
Look at
Angela.
That. Dave Cross doing Photoshop for
and
beginners.
Aaron. Yeah,
great.
I'm telling you, they did a great job.
I'm loving it. There's T-Sween.
It's a good crew, and just the
Glenn
friends that
Dewis.
you make, the people that you meet.
And
Just
look at that.
in the hall.
Kaylee.
Yep.
And Dave Black.
Dave Black.
Oh yeah. So
oh yeah.
Definitely go check it out over at photoshopworld.com.
I like that page. All right. Is there anything else important? No. Oh, I got one little thing. Okay, this is just a thing. I'm not sponsored by these people or anything, but I got a cool new toy, and Erik and I were playing with it today. So I have to tell you about it. So in my office here at the, have you been to my office? So we play guitars in my office.
There's a lot of guitars in that office.
All right. So one night, by the way, when nobody was here, Sam and I, we have a stage here with drums and amp and all that, and when nobody was here, we turned it up really loud. And it was weird because we had no bass player. So it was just drums and guitar, very loud.
Yes.
That was a blast.
Let's do it again.
Oh, we can't because I have I got to go to the groomers tonight, and I got to get cupcakes, and I have to do all these things.
Gotta go
I
to
have
the
a
groomer.
list of stuff I got to do. I cannot have fun.
All right. That's fair.
But
this time.
I want to have fun, but I cannot. Okay, so what was I going to tell you? Oh, so anyway, I got this thing. A lot of times in my office, I have to do like either a Skype chat or some kind of a interview. I do a lot of interviews like with magazines and blogs and stuff. And
Video conferencing in general, too.
Video conferencing in general.
Yes,
the lighting
all
in my
that.
office is so bad, I have to leave my office. I can't do it in my office. I have to go walk around the building and find a better place. So look at this. So Lume Cube, the people that make those little cubes for lighting, they made this little thing. Can we zoom in on this? This is it's a cubey thing for broadcasting. And what it does, it's like for your laptop. You put it right here on the back. It's got a suction cup, and it locks there like with the grip of death. And that's it. That's all you do. Now, it comes with two little things. And this is now a tutorial. One of these, this is just to make the light soft. This one makes the light soft. This one makes it warm. Forget about the soft one. It makes you blue. This makes you beautiful. Get this one, and it looks kind of disgusting when you hold it up here, like some wheel.
It does not look good.
It does not look good, except for when you turn it on. You just fit right over the front. It makes you look beautiful.
Makes you look good.
It does make you. And Erik was like, I put the blue one on. Erik's like,
no.
You look dead. Don't ever use that. Okay, so Erik and I were geeking out about it. I'll show you just real quick. I just did a quick screen capture. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go to Video Control Room 2 for anybody who cares. And I'm going to show you like a before and after. Let me just, hold on. I got to resize my screen and everything. So give me a second. I've just destroyed this. Let's get it to a reasonable size. All right. So this is what it looks like in my office. So it's kind of dark. My face is always dark. You know what people tell me in conferences? Your face is really dark. So all this thing does is it just puts light in your face. Boom. I don't have to jump up in size like that. It just lights your face. So you go from dark face, right, to light face. And so Erik, as we're trying them on, but Erik didn't know this when I showed him this, all right? There is an app that works through Bluetooth that lets you control everything about this via the app. It's a free app, and in my entire life, I've never seen anything connect faster by Bluetooth than this thing. Like, I opened the app, and I said, let me turn this on, and the second I pressed my finger on the on button, it literally, did you see how I just lit up?
Beautiful.
Look at that.
The second I turned it on, it went connected. I'm like, that's the fastest Bluetooth. Like, I get in a car and it's like forever. But anyway, look at the light. See, there's like,
What more do you need?
Yeah, for video conferencing, for podcasting and stuff, it's so great and it's so portable. Anyway, I'm just jazzed about it. I just thought we'd give them a shout out for making something cool. And the tutorial is the white one makes it soft, but you look dead. And the orange one, always use that one.
The white one would be good if maybe you were outdoors in daylight or something like that.
Like, look at this thing. Look how bright it is.
Yeah.
Like if you needed to be like, I need to, look really super bright, and then we'll make me super beautiful here.
Now, so you're going to look better on that because
it looks good in the lighting in
reason is
here.
It's balanced because this set is daylight balanced. There you go.
Hi.
Little white balance.
How are you?
Hey, I'm sold.
Anyway, it's cool. It's really like it's from. I don't know what it costs. Lume Cube. They cost something.
It wasn't.
I've had it for weeks.
Bad.
That's what's bad. It was like $800. No, it was no. Come on, it was very inexpensive.
$70.
$70.
Hey, there you go.
$70. Now, by the way, I bought lights for my office that were big and clunky, and I had to like mount them on Gorilla Pods. And I literally threw them away. They literally went into the garbage because I could never find one that I like. This is the first one I like, and once it's on, you cannot turn it off.
It is bright. It is bright. Ooh.
There is a way to turn it off. Ooh, I made it bright. Oh, it's brighter. Ooh.
Wow.
That was a huge mistake.
We're still learning. It's okay.
I guess. I just got it today.
Just use the app.
I just got it brighter. Hey, there's a deal. There's a deal. $10 off. $69. Well, didn't you say it was $70? Oh, but
$69.95.
Oh, plus $10 off. Oh, it's $70. All right. Anyway,
I round up.
I want to just give some love to them because this is really a cool little thing. If it was my holiday gift guide, this would be in my gift guide. Let's turn it off. It keeps getting brighter. There we go.
There we go.
Woo! Wow.
We're back.
All right, we're back. All right. So our topic. Do we have time for a topic?
It's time for a break.
It can't be time for a break.
And then we'll come to a topic.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Brenda. Brenda's homesick.
Yes.
I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Brenda, but she is binge watching KelbyOne today.
Being productive.
And then J.R. Maddox says KelbyOne is my only stop to learn. Thank you, J.R. You guys are awesome.
And look there's Larry Becker saying, "Hey, Sam."
Oh, Larry.
Oh yeah, and he also
Scott
in parentheses says, and Scott and Erik, whatever.
Yeah.
And look at Michael Dow. Look at that.
Yeah, saying total K1 success story. Everything I know about sports photography, I learned from Scott and Dave.
Ooh, I like that abbreviation.
Yeah, K1. KelbyOne. Yeah, we use it sometimes.
Yeah, K1.
Hey, let's go. Coming up next, what I said was coming up last. Ooh, there's the roof. There's the roof.
Like
Whoa!
way up there.
My name is Kaylee Greer, and I'm a professional dog photographer. KelbyOne has been monumental in this journey of mine. I have the opportunity to pull from years and combine professional experience, like the support system at the touch of a button. KelbyOne.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Make sure you don't miss any episodes of The Grid by subscribing to Apple's podcast app or iTunes. It's free, and we even have a special audio-only version, too. So sign up today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Scott's here with Erik and Sam, and we are talking about all kinds of stuff today. Hey, we did, our crew just came out, and our crew is on the ball, and they said we've got some behind-the-scenes photos from yesterday's shoot that Sam did.
Look at that. That's a good-looking crew right there.
That is a good-looking crew. Look at that.
So part of the class is about working with people that aren't professional models. So these are my actual like friends and extended family, people that are just excited to have their photo taken.
Yeah, but I got to say, your friends look like models.
they're a good-looking bunch. There we go. This is me being super awkward. I think the hardest thing for me was the class promo, and luckily Steve, the producer, is very good at coaching on location. And
Does he ever say this? Make me cry?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he says that. You know what he said this morning? Make me cry.
Make me cry.
I'm like, dude, you need a new line.
I told Steve, just edit me smart.
Edit me smart.
That's all I asked for. There's me just looking handsome. Not really a behind-the-scenes photo.
That is you looking handsome. Very much so.
I did dress myself that day. There we go. So here's some behind-the-scenes stuff. So part of it is also like,
So there's kind of the setup you were talking about.
Yeah.
So like the light, the softbox.
So I've got a friend holding the light, and a lot of people say like, well, I can't do this because, and then they list off all these reasons, because I don't have access to models, because I don't have an assistant. And this is just, honestly, if we weren't doing this for this class, I've done this exact thing with these same people before. We've walked around and be like, hey, can I take your picture real quick? Hey, do you mind holding this light for 2 seconds? And that's what we did. I mean, we were up there in that spot, even filming the class, which, takes longer than a regular photo shoot.
Oh, yeah.
5 minutes, 6 minutes. It was really fast.
What light is that?
That's a B1, and a little portable, the Joel Grimes Westcott.
Oh, the Joel. Isn't that a nice light?
Yeah.
A night light source?
Yes, I love that thing.
Very nice.
And we travel all the time, so it's great. And there's Kaylee with the clapper. That was her proudest moment yesterday.
Kaylee. Is that Julio?
It sure is. Yeah, we had a really good
Julio's
crew.
awesome, right?
Yeah. Perfect crew for this, and it was so smooth and so easy, and it just felt like a night hanging out with a bunch of friends.
Ice light.
Yeah, and the ice light, this is a really, this is one of my favorite pieces of photography gear because it's so portable. You can see what you're doing.
Okay, can I talk to you about this?
Of course.
All right, this is going to sound negative, and I don't mean it to be.
Yep.
I've never used an ice light. And every time I see one, I think, I got to be shooting at 1,000,000 ISO with that. Is that true? Like, what's the deal on those? Now, you really seem to like it.
Okay, so what's really funny is I remember the first time that you commented on one of my Instagram photos, because Scott Kelby liked my photo, and he commented on it. He said it was great lighting.
No, but said it was crap.
It was.
and
that was the second photo.
Oh.
Every time that you have liked one of my photos, it's been a nice light photo.
Really?
Yep.
I'm not going to like any more of yours now because I'm apparently an ice light lover.
I love the ice light too.
Yeah. You did an ice light shot with your daughter, right?
I'm trying to get back to when we shot the.
Like, am I the only ice light loser that's not using one?
Yeah, the ice light, the light that comes off it is so soft.
You don't expect it
crazy
to be
because
soft
of like
at all.
you don't expect it to be.
Yep.
And now I'm gonna have to get one. This show's costing me money.
Also, the way that I tend to shoot, I shoot pretty close up for most of my portraits, so I always have my assistant holding that light like 2 inches away from the subject's face, so it is right up in there. And no, I don't really have to crank my ISO so much. I think on the darkest photos we did, I was at ISO 800.
Really?
Yeah, totally fine. Totally
Dang it,
workable.
I'm going to have to get one of these now.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
All right,
awesome lights. They're
Who makes
awesome.
them, Westcott?
Yeah, Westcott.
Well, I got to ask him for a discount.
This shot.
Can I get a deal?
Like I lit the cars all with the ice light.
Oh, I
was the
hate
ice
you.
light.
All right,
Yeah.
look at that.
That's all the ice light.
He lit the
Now,
cars with the ice light.
The rocket illuminated itself, but the cars are all the ice light. Yeah.
Wait a minute, the rocket illuminated himself?
Yeah.
What?
Sure did.
With
fire
fire?
and fire.
All right.
So, anyways, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna
It's a
have
great
now. I'm
light.
gonna have to get. Are they expensive?
No, they're like $500.
They're like
I
they're
saw
like
them.
$500.
But think about it in terms of photography.
Eric,
gear.
how do we-
Photography
Eric,
gear.
how do we get to a point in our lives when we go, oh, it's just $500?
That's
And it's like,
when you became a photographer. That's when you got to that point.
I mean, I would probably say, I mean, it is expensive, but it's worth it. Put it that way.
wait a minute, you
It's
have
kind of
ice
like
light.
It's kind of like the B1X.
Why don't I just borrow your ice light?
Well, no, you got a B1X. I don't have a B1X.
I'll loan you my B1X.
I don't shoot enough people. Anyways.
All right. Hey, we need to talk about Lightroom, and I also want to talk about, I want to get back to our topic here, but I wanted to talk about Lightroom because Lightroom came out with a new enhanced details feature yesterday, and I know a little bit about it, and so I was seeing in the KelbyOne forums, people were talking about it today. And so if you're in the KelbyOne community, or if you're a KelbyOne member and you're not in the forums,
Yeah.
you've got to get in the forums. It is the friendliest, neatest, greatest place for talking about photography because it's totally safe. There's no bullies, there's no mean people, because we strictly do not allow that. It is a place for lifting people up and helping people. So
Oh, yeah.
today they were talking about this new Lightroom feature. And what I wanted to say was a couple of different things about it. So this new, it's called Enhanced Details. And it has to do with reimagining what the raw photo looks like when it first comes in. And what I will tell you about this is it is for a very specific type of photo. And the reason is because it takes a long time to apply it. It does not apply quickly. It's not like everything else in Lightroom is super fast, except for this. And so where you're actually going to see a difference is in making prints. And so I have to give you lots of caveats about this. First off, don't apply it for your Instagram pictures. Don't apply it for your Facebook page. You're not going to see any difference whatsoever. This is for, I need maximum quality because I'm going to make a print. And don't make
larger
a 4x6.
format.
You're making a large print. And even then, it has to do with the content of the image. There are certain images that have a lot of diagonals and things.
Maybe like angular details.
Angular details and stuff, and a lot of detail, just a lot of detail, will look the best. It'll have the most. You can bring in a photo and run it and wait the time and see no difference whatsoever, even on a print. So it is using AI. It's using a lot of advanced technology to make it happen. When it works, it's really, really great. But don't expect it to work on every photo. Don't use it unless you're going to go to print. It really is a printing advantage. The people that will see the most, this is what's weird, the people that will see the most improvement are users of Fuji cameras.
Oh, hey, that's me.
Because Adobe's been updating like the raw processing engine behind the Canons and the Nikons and the Sonys for a while. But Fuji was kind of like behind. So what they did was they first brought Fuji up to where the Canons and the Nikons are, and then they applied. So if you were using a Fuji, you're going to go, wow, my photo looks better and my details are enhanced. For Sony, Canon, Nikon, I'll just go, my details are enhanced.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you're Fuji, you know, super home run for Fuji, still a good thing. But I don't want to make it sound like it's bad. This is a great thing that there's a button. So here's how I say it. If there was a button, Eric, that you could press in Lightroom that would make your large prints look better, would you push the button?
Absolutely, every time.
Right. So that's just, I just don't want people pushing this button and thinking, oh my God, this is so slow and I'm waiting around forever and all
I mean,
that.
that makes sense. I mean, because that's when you really are starting to super sharpen your image is when you're going to print. That's when you're starting to kind of go a little bit farther with your sharpening.
Hey, look at all the community comments coming in here.
Oh, yeah.
From
Look
folks. Look at that.
Look at, we got Nicole Martin saying the community is really great and helpful. Kathy A, yes, the community is great. Deb, agree with the community is awesome. Bill Ways, and yeah, true that. Forum's so helpful.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, you know, we talk about this a lot, but, you know, we do have, what, 800 classes now? 800
over
800 full-length classes, and that's great. But there's lots of people with online classes. Like, there's all kinds of online classes out there. I think you should definitely, I mean, 800 is a pretty formidable number for photography, but we have a community. So when you join KelbyOne, you're not just watching a bunch of classes, you're a part of something. And I think that community there is
really, it is
special.
a lifestyle. You know, really what we want to be, we want to help people get better with their photography. We're not about just selling them. And then people say, We're not about selling them another course. Oh, I got this new course out. That's part of your membership, because we're about creating, helping photographers. We talk about this all the time.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Our business is about helping people make better images.
It's an education business.
That's all it is. And we're not trying to sell you the next thing and sell you the next thing.
No, what we're trying to do.
It's like we come out with something, it's like, here you go, there's a new class.
We're trying to do something that will make a difference in your photography, because when you're a success, and you win, we win. That's when we win. When you start going, you know, when I hear stories like yours and like some of the stories that we've seen here in the comments, those are home runs for us. That's what we're all about. When we can actually make you make better pictures, that's a big win. And that community that we talk about, this is people all over the world that are helping. Like, you have members in every country that are in there all the time. And if you post a question, I have a dumb question. People love that. They're not like, oh, you're, you know. The other day, I was on a music forum. I was on a synthesizer forum.
Nerd.
I was trying to find how to do a sound for a Bon Jovi song.
Oh, yes, I've heard this.
Keyboard song.
Yeah, you're a little bit off. You got to figure it out.
And it's driving me crazy. I do not have the right sound. And it's driving me. And I've put hours and hours and hours into this song. So I want to nail the song, because that's my big thing with I have a home recording studio, and my thing is nailing the sounds. Now, do I normally nail the sounds?
I mean, you nail them. I mean, you're getting. I'm like, he needs to start teaching classes on how to do that.
I'm serious. I'm serious about it. However, all that being said, I cannot get this one keyboard sound from a Bon Jovi song. And Bon Jovi's like one of my all-time favorite bands. Seen them in concert many times. Love Bon Jovi. Big Bon Jovi fan. I can't get this sound. I go to this is how desperate I am. I'm in forums searching for Bon Jovi keyboard song, you know, it's the song Runaway. And if you don't have the right sound, I got all the guitar parts down, the solos, everything, all the bass parts, drum parts. I play all the instruments. But if the keyboard doesn't sound right, the song sounds stupid. I have to wait till the verse till it sounds good. I'll play it for you when we're done, and you're going to go, yeah, that needs some work. Anyway, I go into this forum, and somebody asks the question, I'm in a cover band. It's going to be a Bon Jovi cover band. I just joined. How do I get the keyboard sound for Runaway? Because you hear it, you go, oh, that's so easy. But it's not. It's deceivingly different. So people are saying, well, have you tried this? Or what about this synthesizer? And people are trying to help. And this is what's wrong with, this is everything that's wrong with forums. People start coming in and attacking the guy that asked the question. Are you kidding me? You need to learn how to use a synthesizer. Go use a square, a sawtooth wave, throw an oscilloscope on it, detune it, you know, and they start, you know, come on.
Yeah,
what are you,
guy
moron?
doesn't know how to use a sawtooth wave. Come on.
And it's bad because one guy does it, and then other people start going. And it's always guys, by the way. It's not women. It's always guys that are jerks. And they go in there, and I'm thinking, the guy had a legitimate question. I even wanted to know the answer, but I'm reading people poke fun, and that's our community is nothing like that. Yep. Nothing like that. And that's what. And we said from the beginning, when you go to the community, it tells you, here's the rules. There's no 3 strikes, you're out. There's 1 strike, and if you screw up again, you're gone. Because we cannot.
And we've had a few times that we've had to exercise that.
We have. Yeah. Very few, but we've had to kick a few people out. But when you think of how many people all over the world are in there and how many people we've had to kick out, but we just don't tolerate it. We have great moderators that watch this stuff, and if you write something mean, we know about it 30 seconds later, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Eric's calling it. We got a problem. Bob Johnson just said something stupid. Bob, you're out.
Bob, you did not.
No, we're just kidding. It's just a made-up name. All right, we you know what? I did get to talk a little bit about Lightroom. We're going to round this baby out in a minute, because coming up next, we're going to bring this puppy in for a landing, and Sam is going to bring us in to such a soft, beautiful landing that will reach the sky with the jib. Eric never looks at the jib.
It's going.
Don't look at the monitor. Look at the jib.
No.
Is there a lens I can get that's really going to make a difference? Well, I can tell you my favorite one, an ultra wide angle. When you go really wide and you shoot from like a low perspective or a high perspective, or you put something important in the foreground, oh my gosh, you can make the most epic shots. I mean, they are night and day difference. You'll be like, this is incredible. And people are like, what's the secret? I'm going to show you in my brand new class. I've got the Tamron, the brand new Tamron 15-30 Incredible lens for the money, so wide, so sharp, so beautiful. You're gonna love it, you're gonna learn a lot, but then we're gonna go on location in the Tampa Theater. It is historic 1926 classic movie theater and event location. Tons to shoot. I'm gonna show you all my favorite techniques, all my favorite stuff. You're gonna learn it all, and you're gonna be taking those giant, epic, cinematic shots. So come check out my new class on shooting ultra-wide lenses, the Tamron 15 to 30s, the new G2 version. And this class is only found one place, exclusively here at KelbyOne. So this class covers curves, and a lot of people are intimidated by curves because it has a histogram and there's a whole lot of little features on there. People just go to levels and do some simple things, and that's great, but you can do so much more with curves. There's so much more nuance. If you want to adjust just the fill for a certain part, you can bring that out just with a couple clicks. If you need to adjust the color, you can do that. And then there's all these other effects that you can do with curves by applying blending modes and clipping it, of how you can control tonality, how you can control color, and get into all the little nitty-gritty features of the curves and the curves adjustment layer. The whole point is to really make it as easy to understand as possible. Unlock the power of curves. Check out my new class on KelbyOne.com.
The Profoto B1X has like taken our industry by storm. It is an amazing light. It lets you go on location and have studio quality light wherever you go in a really small, compact kind of unit. And let me tell you what, it is just amazing, and I want to show you how to use it. You're going to be able to get up and running with it immediately. And because it's so small and so lightweight, you're going to want to take it on location. And after we learn all the classroom stuff, that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to go on location. We're going to do a safari fashion shoot. You're going to see the whole thing from start to finish. And at the end, I'm going to give you a quick start guide so you can come back at any time and quickly see, okay, here's how I set it up. Here's how I use it, and you can start making great pictures on location, but you can have studio quality light anywhere you go. So come check out my new class on the Profoto B1X, and it's only here at KelbyOne.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going, Scott?
Yo.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Well, this is kind of a fun show. I don't know if you guys watch or having fun. I'm having a ball today.
We do have some questions.
Yeah, we got some
questions for Sam. So if you're still just defining your photographic sweet spot, for instance, 3 different styles, would you do 3 different Instagram feeds or combine them into one feed?
All right. So I have a question for you guys, and I'm in no way trying to sound like a jerk when I ask this question. Can you think of a photographer that's like, oh, this is the guy that does these 3 different things, like that you love? You know what I mean? Can you think of one person that like really rocks 3 different things hard?
I don't know, Sam. You sound like a jerk.
I know. It
sounds like a person in a forum.
It's kind of a leading question because like I kind of clearly have an answer already in mind.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. The people that we love and we respect and admire, they're really great at their genre.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Joe McNally does portraits. You don't see Joe doing portraits and wildlife.
Absolutely.
Right.
You don't see him posting landscape shots.
Yep.
You know, it's like the photographers we love. Peter Hurley, headshots. You know, Kaylee, doggos.
It's not to say that people don't do other things.
Right.
It's just when what they post and what they're known for is one style.
Yeah.
So your
one
answer
thing.
to him would be?
So maybe it is if you still are trying to find that and you are shooting these 3 different things, like maybe try out 3 different Instagram feeds and maybe even like I don't want to say a pseudonym, but like a different name for
seeing what hits.
Yeah,
right. See what's popular.
And they don't necessarily have to know it's the same photographer. And one could take off wildly, and the other one could be left in the dust. And you go, maybe I should go with the wildly popular one. Yeah.
All right, more questions.
That's good advice. So Ickeldot's asking, hey Sam, you just said you used Fuji. Do you think permanent lighting is more suitable for mirrorless cameras because the EVF shows you what the results of the picture will be?
All right. So if you haven't shot with a mirrorless camera before, that question might not make a lot of sense. But as soon as you do shoot with one, you look through the back of the viewfinder, and it's not just like a window into what's happening in front of you. It's a little TV, and like the little TV screen is showing you either an exact a representation of what your exposure is going to look like, or you can also have it set to try to mimic in like an auto exposure or what a regular camera would see. So yeah, it does make it really easy when you have a constant light and an electronic viewfinder, because you can look in the back of your camera and you can see exactly what your photo is going to look like. There's no flash that's going to go off and all of a sudden the flash is too bright or too dark. Just what you see is what you get. So it does make things really easy.
Dealing with continuous and having a mirrorless,
yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a good combination. I like it a lot.
Cool. So Mary Jo's asking, Sam, what else stands out to you, you shooting this challenge, this year challenge with one lens, other than consistency of your images? The technical, working with people, etc.
Yeah, I like that she says working with people, because here's the thing is when I put the camera up to my face, I know exactly what the focal length is going to look like. I'm not just like, ooh, whoops, I put on the wrong lens, it's too wide. Let me come back here and change this and try this and try this. I don't think about any of that because I've shot with the exact same thing so much. I can get all my settings in a quarter of a second, and it can be all about the interaction with the person that I'm photographing. And that's what makes, I think, for a better photo, is getting that person comfortable and
It's very interesting. Yeah. I mean, because I think what's really interesting about this is I do see a lot of photographers, especially portrait photographers, starting out. I don't shoot portraits that much, but what they do is a lot of times they are changing and fiddling with the gear.
Yep.
But what you've done is really simplified it down to where you trust the gear, and now you're just working on the creative and working with the people.
Yep.
And not really kind of, well, should I change this lens? You're not debating, should I change this setting? Should I add another light? Should I subtract another light? It's really like keeping it simple.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I mean, that's a wildly different approach than most people take.
It's worked out okay for me.
Yeah, well, it definitely has. Look at your work.
Oh, thank you.
All right, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So this is one that I'm asking on behalf of folks watching. If you are a photographer that shoots a lot of different styles, because I talk to a lot of photographers, and I'll say, what do you shoot? And the number one answer, everything.
Yeah.
Shoot a little bit of everything. How do you find out what your photographic sweet spot is? Because that's really... we really determined, and I love your story about what you did to find your photographic sweet spot. But if you are that person out there shooting everything, what advice would you give them to find their photographic sweet spot? How do they get down to that thing that they love?
All right, I'm going to try to be as succinct as possible because I feel like I could ramble about this for years. I don't consider myself a very creative person a lot of the times. I feel like I'm pretty technical, and sometimes I have no creativity in my mind when I go to take a portrait. So I was telling you before we went on air, I took this series of portraits that I absolutely love, and it's just of my friends and family. It was a quick thing, but it was just in a backyard. There was nothing fancy going on. There were just people there, and it's like, hey, let me take your portraits. But I know what I like from a technical aspect. I know that I like close-up portraits. I know that I like Rembrandt lighting. I like short Rembrandt lighting specifically. I like a shallow depth of field. I like a simple background. And I figured, if I just take all these things that I like and I put them together, I'm probably going to make a photo that I'm happy with. So what I would suggest to people that maybe just don't know what they want to shoot or how they want to shoot it is to start looking at photos. And the second that you see a photo, this could be on 500px or Instagram or your favorite photographer's website.
350px.
Yeah, there we go. However many px's you want. Second you see a photo you like, just literally just get out a notebook or your phone or whatever and just write down everything you can think of that's in that photo that you like. Okay, this person is centered. They are looking at the camera. They're not looking at the camera. They have Rembrandt lighting, split lighting, broad lighting, whatever you can think of. It's color, it's black and white. And do that for even 10 photos. And hopefully what you're going to see is there's a number of things that you like in those photos that overlap. And then just start to try to incorporate those things into your photos. And hopefully it's going to result in a photo that you're really happy with. So from like a sheerly technical, non-creative aspect, I would say just give that a shot.
That's a very creative answer, though, to that.
Definitely.
No, I love that. I love that. I think that, hey, we're looking at Sam's photography. Can we go back a few? Go hit the previous button. And I want to ask you about this photo right here. You added those light leaks in post?
Oh, yeah, that's Analog Effects Pro. That's
very nice.
When that first came out, when something's brand new, you're like, I must use this.
I like that, though. It's very cool.
Thank you.
So we got a couple more questions. We got Cheeky's asking what lens that you used for a year. What lens? I mean, you probably went over that
what
earlier,
lens was it?
So. Oh, let me think of it. No, it's so I got that Fuji GFX 50S, like the medium format mirrorless camera, and so they only had like 3 lenses when that came out. and so it's their 63 millimeter, which winds up being like a 50 equivalent for your full frame camera, which I know is not a portrait lens necessarily. However, it's a lens that gives me a lot of flexibility. I mean, if you've ever tried to shoot everything with like a 200 millimeter lens, you're just like, let me just go. I'm gonna go way over there.
Yeah. And you got to be careful with a 50 because if you can get distortion.
Yes.
You got to really shoot like a boss with a 50.
Yeah.
Can we go back and look at some of yours? So can we bring his side up again? I know we're running over time. We're only over by 1 minute and 20 seconds though. So 50 millimeter.
Yep.
50. Keep going. 50. I could see that being a 50.
I think there's a very small handful of images that are in there that are from what I refer to as old Sam, and that one with the grass background was I think a 24-70. but yeah, that's the 50. The previous one's a 50.
Dude, you're shooting that 50 really well.
Thank you. That's a 50. If there's that's a 50. So like if there's somebody that's really close, if it's a super tight headshot, like I'm gonna do a little bit of lens correction in Lightroom. Like that one probably had like a little bit because it probably got too bobbly. This is 50.
Yeah.
It's all exactly the same.
Cool.
50, same
Very
deal.
nice. Boy, you can really tell the same photographer took those
So
shots.
I think everybody's trying to like really like question, can you really do this? Because the next question from Kendall G is, do you plan to continue to use just one lens? Or did you use a few others now that you have your style locked?
I had a shoot recently with a musician, and I showed up and I brought 4 lenses just in case, because I was just like, well, who knows what setup he's going to want. But I shot 95% of that thing with my 50 because I was like, you know what? I'm super comfortable with it, and every image that he's seen of mine has been this setup, so I want to deliver what he expects. And at one point, I busted out a wide-angle lens and I took a photo. I was like, hey, that's neat, and then I put my 50 back on. So cool. I'm super comfortable with it, and if the occasion arises, I'll use another one, but I like being comfortable.
What other lens do you think you would go to? Like, what's the one, like you said, well, obviously you used another one in there. What did you use?
You know what I'd really like to get is like an 85, like a more of a somewhat proper portrait lens for super close-up, because I'm a big fan of really close-up portraits. Yeah.
And is that more maybe too, so you don't have to do a lot of correction and also the look, get that look that you want?
100%. Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Last question of the day.
Yeah, so Travis Saxon, who are the top 3 people you would love to photograph?
Ooh, okay. All right, I got one. The Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that would be so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely The Rock.
I'd like to also photograph The Roll.
Number 2. I don't know. Kaylee, help me out. Who do I want to photograph? Stephen King, yes, absolutely. Stephen King. I would love to photograph Stephen King.
Like scary movies?
I like scary movies, scary books,
stuff,
all of that stuff. Stephen King is absolutely up there. And then Kaylee can photograph his dog. And then number 3, let's go Scott Kelby. His new headshot.
I am not photogenic. I am extremely... You're not good enough at Photoshop to take a picture of me. You need teams of people.
We're gonna try.
You need people working in teams, like in Stad, where you send my pictures and they work on it as a group. There's just no one person is as good at Photoshop as what you need to fix this.
Just start spamming Scott. Tell him we want a new portrait.
We want it.
No, you know what we really want? Because my portrait was taken by Peter Hurley.
Yeah.
That's a Peter Hurley headshot. And it was taken, 22 years ago? No. Here's what I want more than anything. I want someone to tell me what the keyboard sound is for Runaway. Dang it. I'm serious. I spent so many hours.
Have you tried posting it in the KelbyOne forums?
No, I haven't. But I've got so many synthesizers. Now, they're software modules, like plugins, right? They're like, you get a Photoshop plugin?
Yep.
I have thousands of sounds. I've got everything from Prophet 5s to the Roland D50s. I cannot find it's driving me crazy.
Have you tried manipulating a sawtooth wave, Scott?
Yes,
Come on.
I have tried manipulating it. In fact, that's what I have on there now. I went to, I'm using a Contact 5 synth and I tweaked it. Because back in the day, I have 4 hardware synths, but I'm not going to hook those up because they're too much trouble.
Oh, people are tuning out left and right.
Oh, I know, I got a King Korg. I got a King. Let's talk keyboards. I got a King Korg.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of messed up right now. Anyway, wow, what a great. Where can people go learn more about you, Sam? Where can they follow you on Instagram? What's your Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram is at Sam Haddix Photo. That's Haddix. And I'm also at samhaddixphotography.com. And my Facebook page is long since, I don't want to say abandoned, but
no, it's Facebook.
Less often updated.
Yeah.
But yeah, Instagram. Come come check me out. Send me a message. If you have questions, I'm all about chatting about photography.
He is. He's very chatty. All right.
Cool.
And Erik, where can they find about you?
KelbyOne.com.
No, what about your Instagram? You've got
Kuna.
a great Instagram.
Erikuna. Just my name.
EIRK. There it is right there. Dude, you got 20,000 followers?
Yeah.
Fake.
Been going crazy.
Fake. Hashtag fake followers.
Yep, fake.
No, they just purged their fake followers.
Yeah.
Erik had 119,000 and they purged 100. No, but that's really good.
I just stick to the rockets.
Stick to the rockets, baby. But you know
I
what?
love those rockets.
Look, can I tell you something? When you follow Erik, you know you're going to see great rocket photography, and that's why he has 20,000 followers. How long have you been seriously on Instagram posting rockets? What, a year and a half, maybe?
Couple years, yeah.
Couple years?
Yeah.
That's really a great number.
Of course, I also go out and clean out a lot of my junk posts from a long time ago.
I did the same thing. Like when
Yeah.
purged, like my
Yeah,
first,
like hundreds
My
of
first
posts.
Instagram shot I left on there was a
Yeah.
picture of like the transportation hub in Boston. It was like
Yeah,
I
it's
landed
like,
and I was
whoa.
like, "Hey, I'm in Boston. Here's my picture." All right. Well, guys, thank you so much. Thanks to everybody for watching. Sam, thank you very much. Very insightful.
Thanks for
and
having me.
I love what you did with that year. I think that's one of the best stories. Talk about somebody like making a commitment
yeah.
to nail.
Definitely.
That was really, really great. Thanks to Juan, who was, follow him on Instagram, _ Juan Alfonso. We didn't have enough, what was it called? To where your sponsor flashes on screen real quick.
Subliminal
Subliminal
advertising.
advertising. They're a new sponsor. We flash them up there all the time. Anyway, but we got to run. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks to Christina, who was moderating so well. We didn't give away any prizes, not a one, and we had 2 prizes to give away. Christina, quick, pick us two people that commented.
Bring it back down. Bring it back down.
Bring it back down because we
Bring it
got
back down.
It's not right for
Come
a
on
jib
back.
to go down. It's
Come
not
on
right
back.
for it to go down. We're going to give away a Platypod Ultra. So this is what you use when you don't want to use a tripod, because this gets you lower and no one stops you from using it. And I love this. I love a Platypod. I take it with me everywhere I
who's
go.
left to win the prize?
And my dandy book,
So
Photoshop
Nicole?
for Lightroom users.
All right, Nicole just won a platypod.
Nicole, you just won a Platypod. You just won a Platypod Ultra.
Sweet.
Nicole Martin.
Nicole Martin, congratulations. You just won one. And the winner of my Photoshop for Lightroom book, brand new, so new, ink is still wet. Jerry Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, congratulations.
Jerry.
You just won my Photoshop book. We'll be sending it to you here shortly. Juan, do not start that jib until we give you the cue. Juan's very aggressive with the jib. You notice that?
This is going to be the first 3-hour grid.
Dude, we're only over by 8
Look at
minutes.
there's Juan's Instagram.
Hey, look, there's Juan's Instagram.
Yeah, follow this man.
Holy cow, follow Juan. He's obviously been to Instagram.
Amsterdam? I like that. If you don't have that username.
Amsterdam.
Hashtag
Grab it.
Wano. All right.
You need to get that trending. Hashtag Amsterdam.
Hey, did I mention I did a shoot Friday? I did.
There's a digital
No,
surgeon.
no, not the digital surgeon.
There he
All right,
is.
that's our director, Jason, who's in the booth. Follow him at the digital surgeon, which is a really good name.
Look at there's a Banff. They were just up there shooting.
They're up in Banff.
That's Mount Rundle.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
believe.
now
Yes.
that's a nice shot. That's beautiful. Now look at his profile picture. Dude, what the hell? Come on.
Come on.
Step
you
it
ought to have
up.
somebody who does portraits take your portrait.
Dude, we have people here that can take your portrait. Sam's here.
Let's do
You
it.
should get Sam to do your portrait. He only needs 5
5
minutes.
minutes.
I need like an hour. He'll do it in 5 and it'll look awesome. My prediction, Rembrandt lighting. Just a guess. Mm-hmm. Short lighting.
It's a bold prediction.
Short lighting on Rembrandt. All right. You know what was neat? We had Katie Greer in our audience.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, gosh. Look, there she is.
I'm doing it. I'm dancing. It's the second time because I danced one time before. I danced one time before, and this is my second time. All right, now I'm done.
Let's all dance. Oh, gosh, she left. We're all going to dance. Thank you, Kaylee.
Yeah.
See you guys next time. Next week, Peter Hurley on the grid. Thanks to Sam and Erik and Jabo,
See you guys.
Christina, Wani.
Wave at the jib.
Wave at the jib. Bye,
I
Jib.
can't look at the jib.